Thank you, Colwyn. Good evening, viewers, and welcome to tonight's regional news. Starting off with some sad news coming out of Trinidad and Tobago. Police are searching for a taxi driver who sexually assaulted a 16-year-old girl near a church on Monday. The teenage girl and her father reported the attack at the police station in the Southwestern Police Division. The victim was taken for medical treatment for her injuries. The fifth form pupil told police that around 3:30 p.m., she and another person boarded a white Nissan Almera. She said that the vehicle was driven by a man of African descent, dark brown in complexion, slim built, and he appeared to be in his early 20s. She recalled that the driver had a scar resembling a slash on one of his eyebrows. The other passenger dropped out, and she and the driver were alone in the car. Instead of taking her home, the man drove into a dead-end road opposite a church where he sexually assaulted her. After, he dropped her in front of her house and sped off. The girl told her father what happened, and he brought her to the police station. Over to Jamaica, as questions continue to swirl around last Tuesday's removal of Jamaicans from the United Kingdom, a proclaimed self-deportee has warned that returning expats who find themselves in a strange country may be jolted by a culture shock. Selvin Farrell, who had been on probation for a crime he insists that he did not commit in the United States, where according to him he was falsely accused and arrested, said he was concerned that deportees may end up losing their minds. Last Tuesday, 17 so-called hardened criminals who served time in prison for a slew of crimes ranging from murder to rape were sent back to Jamaica, some with only their shirts on their back. And while a few had relatives and some friends waiting on them outside the Harmon Barracks Processing Center in Kingston, many spent their first night back at a drop-in center, but will be seeking more permanent housing arrangements with little assistance from the government. Meanwhile, it is believed that the Home Office is planning a second charter flight to Jamaica that is likely to include prospective deportees who were taken off Tuesday's flight after an 11th-hour appeal court reprieved when a court ruled that they be removed as they did not have 5 working days of access to their lawyers because of a problem with the phone signal at 2 detention centers. And now from some international news coming out of Canada. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau will no longer attend a 2-day CARICOM summit in Barbados scheduled to start on Monday, February 17. Trudeau had intended to use the trip to solicit support from Caribbean states for Canada to get a seat on the UN Security Council. Instead, his Minister of Foreign Affairs, Francois-Philippe Champagne, will assume that responsibility. The reason behind the change is that there is a major protest taking place in Canada by persons opposing the proposed plan of a LNG pipeline that is to run through the lands of Indigenous peoples in the northern British Columbia. The Prime Minister will now take an active role in trying to defuse the situation, which has resulted in rail service being disrupted as at February 7 and leading to challenges in the movement of goods and services. Well, that has brought us to the end of tonight's regional news. Thank you for watching, and back to you, Colwyn.